guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now today I want to talk to you guys about one thing that I have done in 2019, and I have been doing it for many years now, but this year I've decided to take a whole community with me and do it together. And this is fasting at the beginning of the year, just to capture the year for God. Yes, so fasting, I don't know how many of you are familiar with it. I'm seeing nowadays fasting is even being used to lose weight. I've only used it from a spiritual context. So, and that's the context that I'm going to talk to you guys about it today. I shared with you guys in my last video of 2018 of how I am preparing myself for 2019, and fasting was one of the things that I was going to do in 2019, and that's what I've been doing from the beginning of the year until now. So I'll just share with you guys the type of fast that I am doing and why I am fasting, and I have some notes here, so it will be wonderful. It will be wonderful. So there are so many definitions of fasting out there. What I know is that fasting is denying yourself of something, of a pleasure, so that you can dedicate the time you spend on that particular pleasurable event or item or time and give this time to God. So simple, no shadada spirit things, no, simple. That's what it is. But what I have learned is that fasting is a spiritual discipline or obedience that creates a spiritual release. So you're denying yourself, say, food, or you're denying yourself, say, Instagram for the whole month, and using the time that you would definitely be eating or spending time over the internet, and spending this time searching for God. So this would be like reading the Bible and praise and worship and discussions of a quiet time or with your friends in fellowship. That's what you're doing. So for me, I have been fasting for a long time, as in even when I have something coming up like our wedding, we did that, and also when we're waiting for a job or an interview, we do that, because we have realized that it goes further than just praying. Now I'm going to share with you guys a few things or a few benefits of fasting, and then I'll get into the type of fast that I am doing and how my day is like when I am fasting. So number one, fasting teaches spiritual discipline. It takes discipline for you to set that alarm at 4 in the morning to wake up, read the Bible and pray, or even move away from the crowd at lunchtime and go sit by yourself, or say if you're fasting with a friend, sit with your friend and read the word and pray. It takes discipline, and the more you do it, the more you'll realize that the presence of God is such an amazing place to be that you will not even want to leave. Sometimes, for me, I started by setting my alarm at 4:15. Then I'm oh, it's 4:40, I need to start getting ready for work. Then I would move it until now it ends up being 4 in the morning. So you get so attached to being in God's presence that even when you're off duty, your internal alarm goes off and you're okay, it's time to wake up and pray. Then number 2, it increases your spiritual capacity. You're denying yourself of something, meaning there's something inside of you that is dying. And by dying to our flesh or our humanly desires, we open up our hearts to receiving more spiritually. Another thing I heard from a preaching for Myles Monroe is that when your spiritual capacity is being increased, then you become susceptible to attack, because the other spirits, the evil spirits around you, have seen a room, there's space in there, and they want to get into that space. And so it's you're going through turbulence because so many things want to go in. But they will not, of course, they will not come in, because that space is secured for God. And that's why when you fast and you pray, then you receive breakthroughs, because you've gone to another spiritual level. Yeah. Then fasting leads to clear-mindedness. Like, you sort of, like, for me, I've stopped being very indecisive, because I'm very level-headed. Like, I'm very, very clear. I know this is it. This is what I want to do. Like, it just stops distractions in your mind completely, because you are very, very, very focused. Another thing is, it leads you to have sort of a pureness of heart and mind. You know, you've spent so much time with God, and He's done such a wonderful job of transforming you, that even people think, wow, she's become so nice. I'm not saying that when you fast, you like walk around like being all, oh, mimi niro safi sasa cause I'm fasting. No, but there's just a pureness of heart and mind that you go through when you're fasting. And then it destroys negative habits that bring us down. When I was listening to this preaching by Myles Monroe, it says that there are 3 things that as humans we are bound by: what we drink, what we eat, and sex. And so food can be your vice, drinking can be your vice, such that when you start drinking the wrong thing, then you become addicted to the wrong thing. And again, sex, we know about that. So it helps you destroy these negative habits, because when you fast, you're able to conquer your flesh. Like, you're able to conquer your tummy completely. Like, when your brain is telling your tummy that it is time to eat, your tummy is like, nah, sis, we are praying today, so you better get in control. Yeah. So, and another thing is, it increases your hunger for God. This one is the same as the spiritual discipline, but in this sense that when you fast, you sort of like saturate yourself with so much of God's word, such that it becomes so difficult for you to live. Like, when you start talking about God, you just go, brrr. You know, when you start praying, it's like, it is it creates intimacy with God. So it's like you have this new lover, and you want to spend all your time with your new lover, learn more about them, you know, just be all there, stars in your eyes. And you know, as in, that is how the presence of God feels like. And last but not least, it purifies your body. So I think this is where the aspect of weight loss comes in, because now your body gets rid of all the excess toxins and everything. Because, like, if you're doing a water fast, you're drinking water, so you're cleansing your body, you're cleansing your kidneys. Now have time to remove all the uchafu or everything you are eating in December. So it's working well. You know, your liver, everything is just working in tandem, because there is water to like cleanse your body, and you're not clogging your arteries with cholesterol and all that. So I think that's where the weight loss aspect comes in. And last but not least, fasting gives you spiritual and physical freedom, as in, you're able to break so many bondages, and you're able to break things that you had maybe been carrying through your generation and through your lineage. But because you have chosen that you're going to dedicate your time to prayer and to fasting, then God brings these issues out to the light, and you're able to pray them and pray things in order. The kind of fast that I'm doing is a partial fast. So this will be, and you can choose to do different timings. You can do like 6 in the morning until 6 in the evening. You can do from 6 in the morning until midday. You can do midnight until 3. I have a friend of mine who does that. Yeah. And so 5 in the morning until 5 p.m. And you can choose that during this time you will have water or herbal tea. And you know, and then when you break your fast, you'll just have do Holy Communion, pray, and then now go about your day. But now the thing is that when you fast for when you get to day 7, already your body has realized that something is changing here, things are not normal. Like, when I expect my mandazi, only water comes in, and when I'm expecting my oog, only water comes in, so your body also starts to work around all the changes, and sometimes you might experience dizziness. That's why I encourage people to do a lot of water, and just rest, and just don't overexert yourselves. But you need to go about your day, because this is a sacrifice that you're making. And another thing that I do is that I make sure that I have Bible study. So I will do that either by myself or with Quint or with my friends over WhatsApp. So I make sure that these times I'm dedicating them to God. Now, we live in a time and age where we have technology at our disposal, and so on my phone I have an application called A-Note, which is just simply manages my notes and files and folders and all that. And so what I do is, when it is my time for prayer, and say it finds me in the bus or leaving or work or coming to work or wherever, or like I'm at work, I'll just simply go sit down, open a note. I already have a folder called War Room, and I'll just type out a prayer. And you know, it's easy because someone will just think, oh yeah, she's so busy on her phone, and they'll probably not even disturb you, because you don't want to be like, don't talk to me, I'm fasting. You know, as in, you want to just don't use it as an excuse to get out of things and stuff, but just be very like discreet about it. So that helps, and also that helps you keep in touch. You've got the Bible by You version app that has a verse every day, and you can use those verses. I know there are churches also that are doing like a 40-day fast, and they have like guides that you can use, prayer points that you can use. So whatever you do, just make sure that the time that you have decided to set aside for God, that you're actually doing that, and the God who sees what is done in secret will reward you. That I would like to know whether you guys have any questions with regards to fasting or anything that I'm doing during my fast. That's what I've been doing for January, and that's why there has not been a video, because I truly love my YouTube channel and the direction that it's taking. And so I thought it would be a nice thing to give up in order for me to spend time with God. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I'm not a pastor, but I know my way around the Bible, so I can help, and I can even get help from the other spiritual leaders that God has blessed to put in my life. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you love this kind of content, because you know, this space has sort of, you can find anything you need, and I don't want anyone who is like newly born again, or any of my followers, not have a place where they can come for spiritual nourishment. So you're welcome in advance, and until the next video guys, it's bye bye.